Okay, so as scientific officer, it's your chance to go and look into an area of science which interests you. As the scientific officer, you put forward a plan for some research or production activity for the next 12 to 18 months for your company. Now, you need to be realistic about what you can achieve in a 12-month period. For instance, it's ridiculous to say something like, I'm going to find a cure for cancer in 12 months. So the scientific officer is expected to go into the literature, find an area that interests them, find out where scientific research is up to in that area, and put together a plan for the next 12 months. Alternatively, the scientific officer may be deciding that the company already has a small production in a certain product, and they may be, for instance, planning to scale up their production over the next 12 months. That could be a possibility. Or alternatively, the scientific officer may be overseeing a fully profit-making production line, and they're going to maintain that over a period of time to maintain an income stream for the company. So the scientific officer has lots of variations in what they can actually put forward that the company is going to do in the next 12 months. They need to put together a plan, and they need to also put together a resource list. That resource list has to have things like in it whether or not they need laboratory space or production floor space, whether they need to recruit staff and what level of staff, and what consumables or equipment that they need over the 12-month period. That resource list then gets passed on to the divisional accountant who does the costings. The other thing that the scientific officer must do is to look into what legislation or standards that the company needs to adhere to allow this project to continue for 12 months. Again, there is some information in the folder about links to sites where you can get access to information about things like legislation and, Australian standards, or other things which may impact what you need to do. You may, for instance, need to apply for scientific licenses and things like that. So the scientific officer comes forward to the company and says, I think in the next 12 months we can do this. Before the company really decides to agree with the scientific officer, really the marketer needs to come in and have some input at this stage. Because really, for the company who's trying to make a profit, then the market is really, really important in the decision making as well. So the scientific officer is the first port of call in the division, in that they are the ones who have the freedom to go and put things on the table to the company about what would be a logical area of research or production for their company in the next 12 months. And together with the marketer, they put together a case, and then the company decides whether or not to move on. It is the responsibility of the scientific officer to make sure that the resource list is passed on to the chief accountant in a timely way. Because obviously the workflow to the chief accountant is very, very important, in that the chief accountant can't cost out how much everything's really going to cost until that information is passed across. Remember, the scientific officer is using a form of communication in a way that to an audience which is non-scientific. So there has to be enough science in this section of the business plan that a scientist can really go and see references and things like that to make sure that what they're doing is scientifically valid. However, for an outside person or a non-scientist, they can read that section of the business plan and understand exactly what is going to happen in the next 12 months.